Welcome to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse?
With your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton.
Yeah, baby!
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honouring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the CEP Equine Studios in downtown Ocala, the horse capital of the world. Joining me, I have my co-host here, Maria Lacasse. Lovely to have you back with us, Midnight Rose Equestrian. She can massage your back, your body, your horse, take care of you all, make you work together much more efficiently, and she can also fix ankles. My ankle. After moving house, I guess I moved a lot of things with my foot to save my back, and my foot and ankle have been excruciating. And in a matter of seconds, not only did she find the sore spot, but she even found some spots connected to it that were sore, and I'm always impressed by you. Thank you. My ankle appreciates you so much at the moment.
Anytime.
Got a great show lineup for you. We're going to have Dr. Cayot, and I want to do several warnings. Dr. Adam Cayot is covering castration, and we do have B-roll that will be playing of Montego Bay, the mini, being castrated. So we just want to warn everybody, if you're squeamish, if you don't like blood, if you have children, that would better if they don't watch it, then we're giving you a heads up. That's in the second segment. We have another segment with Niall Quirk. We actually had him first two segments last week, so we're going to wrap that up. Maria and I are going to discuss choosing a good riding instructor and how you go about doing that, making sure that riding instructor works well with you and for you to help you achieve your results. Makes me think of my childhood and my riding instructor. We'll talk more about that later. We are going to wrap up the show, and we'll hope you enjoy a great lineup that we have. But let's start up with some news. Unfortunately, in St. Cloud, a 44-year-old man was actually giving carriage rides with his Clydesdales, and he got trampled, and sadly he was killed. He had them hitched up, and apparently something made them bolt, and he was standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. So prayers and thoughts going out to that family. We always hate to hear about any accidents, but obviously on this show, particularly horse incidents like that. June 30th, DAC is having a wonderful seminar that you should join. They call that a webinar because it's on the web, and you'll be able to join in, and they are going to focus on how you can best utilize your DAC supplements to help you with your feed and hay bill. And we all know at the moment, especially with high gas prices and inflation, our hay and feed has gone up quite a lot. So how you can utilize your DAC supplements to make your feed and hay go further. And they're also going to have prizes every 15 minutes on this webinar. So June 30th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, you'll be able to join and listen and learn. So don't miss that. Again, June 30th at 8 p.m. And you can get the information here off the flyer for DAC, vitamins and minerals. And don't forget the reading program. I think it's in its upcoming last week for the summer. Absolutely fantastic reading with horses. Gentle carousel miniature therapy horses do an absolutely phenomenal job with their literacy programs, free for all ages. Children can come and join at the Ocala Downtown Market on Thursdays at 10 o'clock. And I believe next Thursday is the last one. So make sure you're there for that. Absolutely wonderful event that is. And we see kids just grinning from ear to ear. A mention for the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch Equine program. We had Brenda in here last week. This is a phenomenal program for foster kids out in Citra. And we are going to feature one of the horses each week on social media and on the show. And we're going to ask for foster parents. And Buddy is looking for a foster parent. You'll get to visit Buddy twice a year, and they'll have some special events. You can come and see him, even if you're out of town or out of state. Buddy's 17 years old. He's a gelding. He's a Tennessee walking horse. He's loving, caring, and strong. And Brenda's telephone number is up there on the screen, 352-425-0709. And you can call her directly, and she'll tell you how you can go about fostering Buddy and him in this program with these foster kids and the skills. These kids are leaving this program with horsemanship, basic horsemanship skills, ready to go in employment jobs that are needed on farms, and they're learning all the basics of caring, riding, and looking after horses. So this is a program that's essential. We're going to feature one of these horses every week on the show and on our social media outlets. So please foster Buddy if you can. Queen Elizabeth II's Jubilee year is in full swing, and very exciting for her that her 5-year-old Sunbeam just won the Supreme Championship at Hickstead at only 5 years old. I thought that was fairly impressive. How sweet for her, especially in her Jubilee year, to have her horse win that championship. I thought that was pretty neat. Study has just been done on 6 horses. They were studied between the hours of 9 and 4 over 18 days with different color buckets to see which bucket color they liked the best. Can you believe it? Go ahead and guess, Maria. I'm going to give you the choices: green, yellow, red, and turquoise. What color do you think?
I say turquoise.
I'd say turquoise too. I feel like it was blue or something.
You're both spot on. It's turquoise. So they studied all 6 of these horses every day for 18 days. People apparently have more time on their hands than me. But I thought it was fairly interesting that it was turquoise. Horses like eating out of turquoise buckets. Just so you know, interesting piece of information in that study. I thought, wow, how about that? Who knew? I didn't even know they could tell the difference.
Yeah, my horses don't have problems eating,
No.
regardless of what it's in, and usually it ends up on the ground. So
Yes, that's true, actually. Mine don't have a problem eating no matter what. I don't think I would ever even think about, you know, what colour bucket. I've always liked green or black on the farm myself, because I think they blend in better, or brown even, but turquoise is a sort of a beachish colour. But maybe horses find that colour more relaxing. Who knew? So tell us about what you're doing during the day. You're working.
I am
In Gainesville?
In Gainesville at Florida Acupuncture and Counseling. And lately I've been doing a lot of work with veterans and helping them with chronic pain problems and, you know, relaxing nervous systems and just helping them feel better in their day-to-day lives. And then I also, on the side, I guess, work with horses and, you know, doing massage on people's horses. I have a horse in training in Gainesville as well, a lovely Frisian mare who's coming back into work.
Nice.
She's pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you seeing some good results with her?
Yeah, we integrated the bodywork sessions into her training, so it's coming along quite nicely, and she's kind of learning how to relax. And she kind of has Lamanek a bit because she gets stressed out, and some of the like Frisian breeds or, you know, saddlebreds, they have a tendency to be quite tight in the base of their neck, which can lead to like nerve impingements and, you know, lameness problems and all that jazz.
I guess there are some things that are typical of certain breeds that do affect that, right? Like stiffness and just
right. General carriage and just how they've been bred for higher higher headsets.
Makes sense. That sound means we have to go to break. Maria and I will be back in just a minute to introduce Dr. Adam Cayot to you and castration, so be warned.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa. This is Maria. We're in the studio here in downtown Ocala, the horse capital of the world, and we've got Dr. Adam Cayot coming up. But we do want to do a warning. Montego Bay had to be castrated this past week, and this is a bit graphic. There's going to be some blood and gore and some discussion about castration. So we do want to make sure that you know if you have any young children or anybody who gets a little nauseated by the sight of squeamish husbands. Yeah, small children. We just want to make sure that you visibly have a heads up, and we're also telling you might want to watch something else for a few minutes if you, if you can't handle the old emasculators. So Dr. Cayot came out, gave some tranquilizer. He actually gives something before he sedates them. No, he sedates them and then gives them the... Yes, I have the right word. But anyway, little Minnie takes a little nap, and when he wakes up, he's less of a man. But Dr. Cayot did a brilliant job, and it healed up very, very quickly and very successfully. So that was wonderful. And he kind of gives instructions on what to do. Exercise is important after kind of a rest in the stall for a day, just to help that swelling go down. So anyway, it was very successful. And Montego Bay, or Monty as he's known, is doing phenomenal. So here it is. Enjoy. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care with Dr. Adam Cayot, one of the ambulatory vets here at the hospital. And we're going to talk a little bit about an uncomfortable situation, castration, and share with you a little bit about how that's done. So Dr. Cayot, obviously the horse can be almost any age. That's up to the owner, but it's preferable younger usually, I'm sure. Tell us a little bit about the procedure for castrating a stallion.
I call it brain surgery. So I actually do brain surgery. I do brain surgery. Yeah. So typically castrations in male horses is pretty unremarkable. Basically, it consists of just removing the testicles surgically. You make a surgical incision. You use a emasculator.
I thought you were kidding when you told me it was called an emasculator.
Nope, that's exactly what it's called. That's exactly what it's called. So you use that and make sure you get all the right structures removed and lickety split. And then it doesn't take very long.
Something you showed me, a little something. You said it's very important. This is important.
It's important. Yeah. So when a horse is proud cut, what we've heard of proud cut, typically the head of the epididymis, which is part of the...
That was the word.
Yeah. Head of the epididymis is left. So you got to make sure, because that can still produce testosterone. So you want to make sure that is removed. Make sure you get that removed when you're clamping, so that is not left and they aren't proud cut, because it can it won't give you the desired effect if that's left behind. So that's what you want to make sure it's gone, and veterinarians know that. But if they're just want to make sure you do your due diligence, take your time, make sure everything's there. I always talk it through in my head. I always do it myself. Just okay, it's there it is, I'm good, and we go from there. Typically in horses we don't suture the incision sites in horses, because they lay down in poop and their stall and dirt and everything else. So we leave those incision sites actually open so they can drain and heal from the inside out. Not like your dog where they stitch them up and they put the cone of shame on so they can't mess with it. We don't do that with horses. We typically leave them open. Where castration does get tricky is if there's a testicle that's retained, either in the abdomen or in the canal. I typically will then send those horses in for surgery, because you do have to go into the abdomen and you need a very sterile environment to do that. So that's what I do. Those are your ridgelings or your Crypt Orchid horses.
Why does that occur in some?
It's a good question. It's genetic. Most of the time, if the stallion was Crypt Orchid, the boys that stallion has will tend to be more than not Crypt Orchid. So those stallions can breed just fine. But that's unfortunate, but you have to be prepared for that. So horses typically will have both testicles descended into the scrotum by 1 year of age. 2, if they aren't there by 2, then you're pretty much, got to retain testicles. So I always make sure there's 2 there. When somebody calls me out, I always, cop a feel at the beginning to make sure that I feel 2, and then we go from there. So I don't want to lay a horse down and put it under anesthesia if I don't have to. So we do that. I do most of mine. Speaking of that, I do most of mine under anesthesia. I lay my horses down. There's still guys out there and gals that do them standing, which is fine. I prefer having them laid down. It's you can see better. My back is getting older, and it's a lot easier to do it that way on me physically, and I can do a better job.
Especially on a mini.
And they don't tend to kick. They don't tend to kick when they're knocked out. So they might kick when they're not. So anyway, that's to each their own, but that's kind of the way I do it. Yeah.
And what do you give them to knock them out, to sedate them?
So I give them a sedative. Typically, I put them down with xylazine, which is a sedative, and then ketamine, which is a dissociative. So it the xylazine calms them down. The ketamine knocks them out, puts them in la-la land. They're not aware of what's going on. They might move a little bit or respond a little bit to the clamping, but it's not registering in their brain that it's basically a reflex that they're when they move. So that's what I use.
And then recovery time, cold hosing the next day, and usually about how long before they're kind of back to some sort of normal?
So
after brain surgery.
After brain surgery, yeah. So typically, the day of the surgery, I just want the now gelding just in a stall or a small area that's confined so that clot can set up. And then day number 2, I have the owners hosing the incision sites, and I want those horses exercise, trotting around. You can ride them, because the more they exercise, the more that drainage happens and the less swelling that tends to occur. So that helps with things. And even if, like your mini that we did, even if you can, obviously you can't ride him, but get out there and chase him around the field, make him trot, get your donkeys out and make him go around. Stuff like that will help. But any exercise is good exercise, and like I said, you can start training these horses the next day. So that's what.
And antibiotics for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I generally put them on antibiotics for a week to 2 weeks, depending on, and just to kind of cover our butt, so to speak. But generally, we don't have too many problems. I mean, complications, it can get infected. That does happen every once in a while. If that happens, typically they'll start running a fever. You'll notice them go off feed. The incision area will swell up, and then I may have to go in and reopen those incision sites to make sure that's all draining. But typically, doesn't happen too often. But you'll have that happen if you do enough of them.
Very good, excellent. So castration on my mini last week. Great. Dr. Adam Cayot here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson & Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and Larson Hay, our broadcast and television sponsor, plus supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and the Hilton Garden Inn, downtown Louisville.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
If you're tired of the rigours of keeping your horse's water troughs clean and free of algae, you need the Drinking Post Waterer, an automatic waterer for horses, livestock and cattle. Field tested for over 40 years. The Drinking Post Waterer is the gold standard of non-electric automatic waterers. Check them out on Facebook or find them on the web at dpwaterer.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton with the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television on all smart TV platforms. I'm here with Niall Quirk at Grand Spree Farm. We've been chatting a little bit about his really, really long list of accolades, but we're going to switch it over a little bit to coaching now. Niall, talk to us a little bit about coaching.
I think probably my greatest forte is coaching coaches as a tutor to make coaches better. And how that all began was about 25 years ago, Horsesport Ireland decided they were going to put in place a coaching structure. And so we all came together. I was asked to go on the committee, and we were on the committee, and we put together this coaching series, which begins at level 1, and now they've added more and more levels to make, because they felt it was too big a jump between each level. But in the beginning, we just had level 1, level 2, level 3, and a preliminary one. And at the end, number 1 was basically a novice rider, a kind of an intermediate rider you were coaching, or an intermediate coach rather. And then you were talking at somebody, level 3 was coaching at least Prix St. George. And then level 4 was to be really a team manager person who would take a team to the Olympics, a team to the World Games, whatever. But we came together and we put together an amazing coaching structure, truly amazing. And subsequently, the FEI bought the coaching structure from Horsesport Ireland, and it is the coaching structure they use all over the world, which is wonderful because I was a part of the beginnings and putting the actual, the meat on the bones. And since then, I've given a huge amount of coaching courses, but I work quite a lot in South Africa, and I have, for the last 5 years ago, I put in place a coaching thing there where I taught the top coaches in South Africa to teach other coaches. And that was the most amazing experience. And now it's come to the fore. And because of COVID, we couldn't go out and give the gospel in person. So we've been doing it online. And they now have up to, I think, 200 coaches signed up who look at these things every week. And so I've done 2 for them on the way of going and on the seat. I think probably the seat has become a big forte for me because of Pilates and understanding the body movement and function. But it's just excellence. The thing is going to be world class. I would say that they're going to end up selling it because it's so good. It really is. But they're wonderful, wonderful coaches and a great thing. And I really get such a kick out of coaching, helping other coaches get better.
I think that's so important because, honestly, I think about my riding instructor when I was a little girl. No offense meant if she's anywhere listening. But she wasn't that great, you know, and actually some of what was missing was people skills, you know, soft skills, where I think it would have been easier for me. Not that she wasn't a really good rider and a really good teacher, but she actually wasn't very personable. And sometimes there were things I wanted to ask I didn't ask because she wasn't very personable. So I don't know how much of that is, you know, is a key, but I would think with at least level 1, you know, that could be a make or break for somebody, you know, who wants to go on, that maybe doesn't feel they can learn for any, you know, teachers. My math teacher, for example, you know, I mean, there are some teachers maybe who shouldn't be teachers. What do you think about that?
I think it's a skill thing, really. I think it's that lady that you described as a lack of skills, and she probably got stuck in a situation that she was teaching the same type of person, but nobody helped her. So I think these courses, you know, when somebody comes on them, they could have been coaching for 15 years, and they come on one of these courses, the morning is theory. And we talk about what is our job, the role of the coach, what is a skill, how can we apply it to riding, and how can we break down those skills to make them available to people, and working out how people learn, and then adjusting your coaching toward that. I think it's huge, and I think an understanding of we move from that into understanding that, you know, the type of coach that you meet. Like you can do the extremes of the person who shouts constantly and gives, as you use the word, which is not the word anymore, an instructor. Mm-hmm. An instructor is somebody who gives instructions, you know. But a coach is an all-around situation who supports the individual in different ways to make it possible for them to learn, you know. And I think I'm just thinking of the saying that I love. It's Benjamin Franklin saying, "Tell me, I forget. Teach me, I remember. Involve me, I learn." And that involvement is a huge part of coaching. So, like, what did you feel there? Or what do you feel the left rein does? Or why would you use your left leg there? So in that response and questioning, I find out, what do you know? And it might be that you know a lot, or that you're using it in a different way, but through questioning, I can find that out rather than shouting at you. And that's what I think coaching is. And that is truly the future, that the old-fashioned screaming, shouting is done.
You know, I so agree with you. And I was just thinking, when you said that people have life coaches, they don't call them life instructors. Yes. They call them a life coach, because rather than just giving you instructions, they're actually coaching you to be better and help you and improve. So that wouldn't be an instructor. You're right. There's a difference between instruction and coaching. I never really thought of that before, but that's a very good point. So yes, helping people be better coaches, in my opinion, that's really key, important to the next riders coming up and how they're going to learn and how they're going to succeed. Because it certainly put me off riding lessons for quite a while.
And those sort of people can, you know, which is unfortunate, but I think they're a little bit lost. And that's what this job of coaching and a structure that you know, supports them and helps them. And it really, for those people that have been on a journey for 15 years in the same place, teaching the same people, it's like a shower. If you come out of it and you go, oh, I could do that tomorrow, there's another idea, or I can do it. And it's invigorating, but it really translates to the client, to the pupil, very much so.
Absolutely. So what about bucket list for you? That can't be a really long one.
Are you saying I'm old?
No, I'm saying you've accomplished such a lot.
I want to teach more jumpers here, definitely. I think that I'm putting together a website that I have a new kind of method. I haven't decided what I'm going to call it, but it's a little bit.
Call it quirky.
Well, it is actually quite quirky, but the effect is massive, and it can bypass a lot of skills in people. So you can, you know, have a situation where the person is actually at, say, we'll just call it level 1, but this can bypass level 2 and get you to level 3, giving you everything that you needed in the level 2, but it's a shorter period to get the horse supple. And then the rider has a different relationship with the horse after it. So I'm going to say a rude word, bastardized. A lot of exercises to create a situation that the horse lets go And then in turn, then it wants to be in the shape we want it. Not that we force it to be into the shape that we want it.
Very nice. And you're traveling, doing clinics around and about, and then you're back here teaching a little bit and on and off?
I kind of have a bit of a circuit, but with COVID, everything changed. Obviously, I was in a year and a half in South Africa, which was wonderful in one way because I trained, and I realized for 15 years I hadn't trained. I gave lessons, and that's a very different thing. So when I teach regularly, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is that I'm coming here once a month, and I'm teaching the same people when I've done it for the last seven times, and the difference is amazing in both the horses and the riders. So I think that on the bucket list is definitely more a trainer and less a clinician.
Very good. Niall Quirk, it's been a real pleasure. I'm going to be one of your students as soon as my broken neck is fully recovered and the doctor gives me the okay to ride again. I would like to be a student. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com. After a terrible vehicle wreck in 2021, breaking my neck from the impact and severely injuring my knee, I was no stranger to PTSD, and my huge ugly scar was a constant reminder. Nilam Patel at Nirvana Medical Spa treated my knee with the secret RF, delivering radio frequency energy to all layers of my skin to improve scars and skin quality. An easy, safe, effective procedure to revitalize and regenerate the tissue for optimal results. Adding PRP enhanced the procedure. Thank you, Nilam and the team at Nirvana Medical Spa for a better, brighter, and much happier me. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I'm Louisa Barton with the Horse Talk Show here at the Gipsy Gold Farm Tour in Ocala, Marion County, Florida, the horse capital of the world, with two of my favorite people. I don't visit them often enough, nearly. Here with Dennis Thompson and his wife, Erin Mahoney Thompson. And we're going to talk a little bit now about what kind of experience you're going to have when you come on this tour that I think everybody should take. So Dennis, tell us a little bit about what people get to see and learn about.
The first 45 minutes is I talk about actually my background and then the discovery and the process of the genetics that made up the Gypsy Vanner horse, the process of naming a breed. Oh golly, it takes and the process of the trials and tribulations of being in the horse industry, of making a living with horses. That in 2006 and 7, we were producing 50 babies a year. In 2007, we did $1.7 million here with a $700,000 profit. In 2008, we had $1 million overhead and zero business. So nothing when the economy hit, and so we needed to save ourselves. And I'm a problem solver. Basically, that's what innovation is. Really, is solving problems. And so one day my veterinarian said to me, I implanted a mule in Puerto Rico, and she made the greatest equine mother I've ever experienced. He said it brought tears to my eyes watching her take care of her baby. And I thought, mule moms. I'll build a world around mules having babies. So we went out and bought 20 mules and got 15 of them pregnant. And just so you know, mules can't get pregnant. Yeah. So that's in itself is pretty amazing. Created a children's book, an animated movie, and a coloring book. And we started sending our mules to zoos because 1 million people go to each zoo. And the zoo had the responsibility of taking care of the mule and the baby. We assumed the 15 babies would sell with 1 million people going to each zoo, so that's 15 million people. And 15 million people would go to the gift shop and buy one or all three of those things, and we'd survive. And it didn't work. And it's my mother's fault. Because she taught me when I was a little boy that mules couldn't have babies. And I assumed that everybody else knew that, and they don't. So they went to the zoo, and they saw the mule with the baby and wondered where the tiger was because they just didn't know what they were looking at. So the opportunity was education. The shock value of it was inappropriate. So anyway, then we turned to tourism. And so we became, I don't remember how long it took, but we became the #1 thing to do for TripAdvisor in Ocala. We're number 3 in Central Florida of visitor favorites, and Harry Potter's #1. We're number 10 in the ranking, and Walt Disney's number 6. That's crazy.
That's not too shabby.
Not too shabby, but that's with no advertising. That's all word of mouth. So we were giving tours to about 800 people a month, and then the COVID hit. And here we go again. So we've got to reinvent ourselves again, and so we're creating a new area in the farm where people will feel totally comfortable, and kind of redesigning what we do and renewing, the experience in a socially acceptable way, So that's the next venture. Yeah.
So share with us some of the animals here.
Well, the horse that started everything is this guy right here. His name is Kushtibak. His name was the Log, like I mentioned earlier, and he would become Kushtibak. He's the first Gypsy Vanner horse stallion in North America, Easter Sunday, 1997. The second stallion's name was Bill. and not very exciting. But Bill was Bruno Mars and Elvis, but not for sale. First 2 years of Bill's breeding career, the Gypsies started calling him the King because of the babies he produced. Matter of fact, his first baby was Dolly, the first Gypsy Vanner horse in America. The first baby ever produced, period. And then he became the sire of the first Gypsy Vanner horse born in America, who is Coochie, March 18th, 1999. But anyway, we didn't think we'd be able to buy Bill. And 60 days before this breed was introduced, we were out of money, but we had enough to fly back to England. They say the horse industry makes millionaires out of multimillionaires. Anyway, if you start with $1 million, you don't have any more money. So we fly back to England with the sole purpose of sharing everything we're about to expose with gypsies. And we read them every detail of the breed standard, the history of their breed, the genetics, the vision for their breed, and so on. And we asked them to choose the name of their breed between Romany horse and Gypsy Vanner horse. And we got a call in our motel room. It was Bill's owner. And Bill had become so popular that this guy's name was Tommy Draper. And Tommy was getting up 2 o'clock in the morning to go check on Bill because he worried about getting him nicked, stolen. And so Tommy had a bad back, and it was killing him to get up in the middle of the night. He said, I'd rather see him in America than just gone. So he said, I decided to sell him to you. I don't have any money. But we did a motel room dance and got a loan from a bank, and Bill becomes ours. And he gets here Easter Sunday, 1998, and we name him the Gypsy King. And he becomes the most famous Gypsy Vanner horse maybe that will ever live. He's the world's first collectible Breyer model. He's the sire of the world's second collectible Breyer model. He's a model in Vogue magazine with the Vogue Model of the Year. He's a model in Cavallino magazine for Ferraris, rearing behind a $4.5 million Ferrari. And he's trained in the art of dressage by an 87-time United States Dressage Federation champion, gold medalist, and Olympic contender for 2008 in China, Pam Fowler-Grace. Pam called me on the way to the World Equestrian Games in Kentucky, and she said he's one of the most extraordinary horses of any breed I've ever ridden in my life. And so a big statement from somebody with those credentials, you know. So he was really a special horse. And I think I'll roll right into telling you a little story. Lynn Palm, the winningest equestrian in history, Rugged Lark fame, did the first bridleless routine, famous trainer. And she didn't know me from Adam 25 years ago. And I called her, and I asked her to come see me. And I said, I had a horse you've never seen before. And I said, stand here. And I brought the Gypsy King around the corner. And of course, she was all, eyes the size of saucers. And I sent Bill, or I always called him Bill, to her for 18 months. She trained him to enter arenas on his own without her. She was sitting on a circus tub in a gypsy outfit, and he was trained to run up behind her and touch her on the back. He wanted to tell her something, and she stood up from the circus tub and put her arms out and wanted to know what he wanted. And he was trained to touch her on the stomach a couple times, and he's trying to talk to her. And then he was trained to get on his knees. He wanted to dance. So she climbed on his back, and a gypsy song called Dance With Me played, and they did a dressage routine. Nice.
Incredible.
Las Vegas. Yeah, no, it was awesome. So there's been some really, truly moving experiences over the last 25 years. That's just one of them,
So when you take the tour here, you get the history, the exciting history, you and Cindy's adventures in England, and then you get a walking tour to meet some of these incredible horses.
You get a vision for the future of Gypsy Gold, and then we take a walking tour, and you get to meet really almost every horse here is an ancestor of the original 16 horses. Matter of fact, you get to meet 3 of the original 16 horses. I've got 3 mares here who are 25 years old. Number 7, number 14, and number 16 registered in the world. And
hold that thought. This is incredible information from one of the most exciting places. And you heard that. Number 1 here in Ocala and number 3 after.
Yeah. Harry Potter's number 1.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more with Dennis and Erin here at the Gipsy Gold Farm Tour. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Centre. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favourite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's Pyranha, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa in the studio with Maria from Midnight Rose Equestrian, massage, horses and people. And we're in the CEP studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital of the world. We hope you enjoyed visiting with Erin and Dennis at Gipsy Gold. I so love that couple. They have such an amazing facility there for tourists. Number 1 thing to do in North Central Florida, and like number 3 or 4, including Orlando, after like Harry Potter and stuff. I mean, people love to go and see horses.
They're beautiful. Their horses are beautiful. The facility's beautiful. They're all really nice.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, educational.
Yes.
Has great chickens, apparently.
She has really nice chickens, yes. It's fantastic. We were going to talk this segment about something quite close to home in my heart and mind when I think of growing up and getting riding lessons. But even as an adult, whether you're an adult or a child, selection, whether your parents making it or if you're an adult, hopefully you're able to make the decision yourself, choosing a riding instructor or trainer can be quite a challenge. And one of the things I thought of when you suggested this topic, Maria, was to ask yourself, why are you riding? Like, what is your goal? Are you just riding because you'd like to ride your horse a little bit better, so you're taking lessons to improve just to be better with your horse? Are you doing it because you want to be a better trail rider? Or do you actually want to compete and accomplish great, big, enormous things and maybe make it to the Olympics? Because obviously that's going to change who you're looking for as an instructor, right?
Yeah.
It's a big piece of it. So I think you have to ask yourself the question, why are you riding?
Right. Identifying your goals is definitely important, especially, because you have to find somebody that you trust when you're working with and somebody that will help encourage you towards your goals. So a barrel racing trainer isn't going to help you if you want to do dressage. And, you know, if you want to gain confidence, then it's probably not the best place for you to go to, like a show barn where they're very intense and have very strict training regimens.
And interesting, you mentioned, you know, barrel race is not going to be a good choice for you if you want to do dressage. But interestingly enough, whatever sport you want to do, dressage can actually be a great start. And I, personally, as a little girl, found dressage very boring. Sorry, dressage people out there, but I did, because I wanted to go fast over jumps out in the country and gallop and be wild. So not much has changed. But that, for me, was a bit boring. But now I actually love watching dressage, and I love watching dressage riders, and I probably would love doing it. But at the time, I found it rather boring, but it is a wonderful basis for everything else. If you can ride dressage, you're probably going to have great equitation and form in all different horse sports. So actually, it's not a bad thing to take some dressage lessons, no matter what you're going to do. But I thought of something else too, location. It's got to be a place you can get to that's, you know, not, especially with gas prices right now.
Right.
You've got to be somewhere that works for you. You know, obviously, if you're in Ocala, you don't want to probably have a trainer in Fort Myers, you know.
Although these days everything's possible with people having, like, you know, Pivos, I think, like the Pivo cameras and stuff like that, where you can just take remote lessons and
That's
have
right.
Bluetooth in your ear, so you can kind of take lessons from anybody in the world.
There is that. Yes, there is that. One that pops up for me, probably because of my experience as a child, is their teaching style. Some people can handle being shouted at. I can't. I'm pathetic. If somebody yells at me, I'm done.
Right. Like finding somebody that can communicate and who is like open to feedback and working with other people would probably be more beneficial than somebody that's like, nope, I'm just me and you have to do exactly what I say and my program works and I win.
Yeah.
Which can be a thing where you're like, oh, you could be winning, but that might not be like the best for your horse and, you know, where you want to go in the long run.
I'm not good at being yelled at. And when I get yelled at, you know, and then your horse, if you feel stressed, as us horse people know, your horse picks up on your stress. So if I get yelled at, I feel stressed, and then I know that passes to the horse. And I got yelled at a fair bit. I had a riding instructor, Debbie, and I'll never forget her because she used to yell at me all the time. And I'm not good with yellers. I'm more of a gentle coaxing, love languages, words of encouragement, need lots of encouragement. And being yelled at gives me anxiety. So.
Right. And you can definitely get different things from different trainers. Like I've found that I've had my nice trainer that can kind of ease me along. And there's also the trainers that weren't so nice, but I would never forget a thing that they said.
That's true. That is true. That is true. The parents that are tougher definitely have the children that have boundaries and are better prepared for life. But I'm not one that's good being yelled at. So I think somebody who you want to emulate, so somebody that you want to be like, is a really good, someone who's a role model for you. If you watch them ride and you go, oh yeah, I want to be like that person, that's a good choice for you.
Yeah, and somebody that inspires you, but also keeping in mind that like just because somebody's a great rider doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best coach. Because there's plenty of riders out there that are like professional riders, everything's easy for them, everything's great, but they don't necessarily know how to like project that onto like their clients because they don't know how to explain it because they just do it well.
That's true. That's a fact. Something else that, and I've done this in the past, and of course you're going to have those instructors who are able to put on a good act for you if they know you're coming to watch, obviously. But go and watch a few lessons. You know, go and sit in on a few of their lessons before you start taking lessons. Just say, hey, can I, especially if they're doing some group, which a lot of times in the summertime, you got a lot of kids out of school, they might be doing a group lesson with kids. So if you have a child that you're thinking of putting in a riding program, it's a great thing to go to the riding school and watch it in action. If they've got a summer camp or something that you're allowed to go and watch for a couple of hours, you can see kind of what the interactions are like between the kids and the instructor. So that's a really good way to choose one for a child.
That is excellent. Like, if they don't allow that, then usually that's a red flag for me. It's like, if I can't watch a training session and know that you're philosophies align with mine and how I want my horses treated, then I'm not going to send my horse to you.
That's true. And that's another big key, something you just said just then. How do they treat horses? Because, you know, not everybody is the same with horses. Some people are very aggressive. I have actually been in a riding school during a summer camp to pick up my daughter from that camp years back. And I saw the riding instructor smack the horse in the face. And I was like, oh no, nope, that's not going to work for me because I don't believe in that. I think it makes horses head shy, and I don't think you ever need to be cruel to a horse. You can deal with horses and discipline them for something without treating them that way. So I was not impressed by that. So that to me is really, really important. I think you need to be aware of those things. And, you know, if it doesn't agree with the way that you do things with horses, then that's important. And you also, you know, if that riding instructor is dealing with their own horses, but if you take your horse there, then obviously your horse is going to be subjected to similar treatment. So you need to make sure that their philosophies on disciplining horses and dealing with horses when they do misbehave go along the same lines as yours.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to end up with a horse maybe that's head shy or got some other problem because of the instructor. So, and last one, budget. Of course, you've got to make sure you can afford to pay the bill. That's a big one.
And be a good client.
If you
find a good coach, be a good client, pay them on time, show
That's
up on
right.
time, respect the trainer's policies
and
procedures.
Very good. That noise was the horse noise to let us know we're at the end of the segment. So Maria and I will be back with you on the Horse Talk Show in just a minute. Stay with us. Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used, the filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian's background is in natural horsemanship and dressage principles, with a main focus on maintaining a balance of communication and correct biomechanics between horse and rider. Come to her farm, or she'll come to yours. Allow Maria to help you and your horse to unwind and balance to increase performance so that you can both be the best you can be together to build a lifelong partnership of success. Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian is a graduate of the Equine Natural Movement School for Equine Structural Integration and a Florida School of Massage graduate. Find Midnight Rose Equestrian on social media and on the web at midnightroseequestrian.com. and book your massage for your horse and you right away.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. In this last segment here with Maria Lacasse from Midnight Rose Equestrian and myself, Louisa Barton, we've got a few reminders for you of upcoming events. Equine Performance and Innovative Centre has their horse vacation special going on. 2 therapies a day plus boarding for $125. Sign me up. I want to go down there and have 2 therapies a day and have a horse vacation. You can bring your horse for therapeutic conditioning experience and give yourself some time off while they do all the work. It's the summer special, $125 a day, 2 therapies and boarding. Schedule, call 352-369-4325. Also, don't forget, June 30th at 8 o'clock, DAC Vitamins and Minerals has a webinar. This is to help you learn how to utilize your supplements, your horse vitamins to the utmost so that you can save on your feed and hay bill. Every 15 minutes, they'll be giving away door prizes. This educational webinar will help you learn how to save money and win prizes. So make sure you join the webinar June 30th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Reading with the horses, don't forget, Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy horses. Downtown at the Ocala Downtown Market on Thursdays at 10 a.m. They have this open to the public and free for all participants of all ages. They've had some old folks from the retirement home down there, and they've had some little kids down there. I think they had about 80-something people join them at the downtown market. I know it is warm out at the moment, but under the market roof there, it's quite considerably cooler than it is out in the heat. But make sure you bring something cold to drinks, plenty of water, and stay in the shade as much as you can. But where better than the horse capital of the world to meet the Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy horses and combine that with the importance of reading. Literacy is so important, and these little miniatures certainly encourage kids to read. So that's a reminders for this week of upcoming important events that are going on. And I have been moving, so moving house, moving horses. Can I tell you that I think we've reminded you over hurricane awareness not to try to teach your horses to load in a horse trailer when there's a hurricane going on or about to go on. So also when you're about to move and you're stressed out, don't wait to see if your little mini asses load in a trailer or not, because they were actually delivered to me and I haven't had a reason to move them since then. It was quite a thing. Thank you to Brookledge Horse Transportation for their great patience with my asses.
That would have made great footage. Just watch
actually,
time-lapse it.
Yes, that would have been worthy of the video camera, because it was Mary, quite contrary, the little grey, ran straight in out of sheer curiosity, straight up the ramp and into the trailer. And I think afterwards she regretted it, because she was like, why am I in here and they're out? And then the other two didn't want to get in. And it was, yeah. We tried all the natural horsemanship methods, you know, all of them. And then we tried the feed. And then we tried lifting them in.
At least they're small.
Yeah, it was a interesting experience. Anyway, we got them in, and but thank you very much to Dana at the. She actually listens, I think, on Saturday morning on the Sky. So thank you to Dana very much for your patience. Bless you. Loading them, it was quite a thing, and we made it. So Mary might never get in a trailer again, because she had rather a long wait for the other two. So my tip is, you know, don't wait until you're kind of down to the crunch and you're moving and you're already stressed about moving. But I also want to thank Maria and her family so much, because they came and helped. And Maria's made a huge difference in my life. Most people know I broke my neck last year, and her massage techniques have been life-changing for me, and her experience with people and horses is just priceless. So I want to thank her family for what could have been an extremely stressful move, and also thank you for making my ankle so much better already. Don't move things with your foot, even if you're trying to save your back. Don't. I think years and years of riding, that ankle's probably, you know, got some things going on. But when you're moving boxes with your foot, it's not a good practice.
Save your legs for riding.
Save the legs for riding, yes, which is something on the list after I'm unpacked and sorted out. But it's been certainly been quite a week, and quite a move, quite a lot of stuff. More stuff. If you've ever moved before and you've started to empty out all your horse stuff and all your dog stuff and all your people stuff and downsize into a smaller place, well, you've done it.
Yeah.
You moved across the country, so.
I think it comes with, like, bloodlines, you know? That whole Moana story of, like, journeyers, like, us Highlanders are like, send it, let's go.
I definitely have, I've purged, I've mega purged, and actually it feels good. Can I just recommend mega purging? It does feel good when you get rid of stuff. I couldn't get rid of horse stuff, but I loaned some horse stuff, but I can't. Everything else can go. But yeah, it's been quite a week. So thank you for all of it. You and your family are amazing. So check her out at Midnight Rose Equestrian. You can get a massage. Your horse can get a massage. Your ass can get a massage. She can take care of all of that, and wonderful, wonderful experience. You'll be better for it, and if you can get on a regular schedule, she's mobile too. So you can come to her farm if you want to kind of get away from it all. She has a room set up for that, or if you want her to come to you, she can come wherever you're at within definitely this area and a bit beyond, right outside of Marion County a little bit. So definitely check her out, and please like us on Facebook if you haven't already. At the Horse Talk Show, and find us on social media and follow us. We've got a lot that we're sharing regularly in the news. Something that I shared today that I was very, very pleased to hear about is that Justify and American Pharaoh, who are at Coolmore here in Kentucky, in the US, are not shuttling to the other hemisphere for the summer, which I was very, very pleased to hear, because I think that's no rest for them. You know, they go from breeding hundreds and hundreds of mares here to breeding in the other hemisphere as well. So this summer they're actually staying in Kentucky and getting a break. So I was delighted to hear that. There are 2 Triple Crown winners, our recent Triple Crown winners, of course, both at the same farm in Kentucky. And normally every summer they leave and they carry on breeding. So they're breeding kind of all year without a rest other than the journey in between. So quite nice to hear them getting a little bit of time off and not having to make that journey, be able to stay here in the US. So I thought that was good news today. So sharing that with you. And check out Steve Haskin, our Hall of Fame turf writer, has shared some great stories this week on secretariat.com. Make sure you're following him. We're always following him, of course, and sharing his stories as well. And we should have him on the show in probably the next couple of weeks, coming up to the Haskell and the Travers, which will be very interesting this year to see who comes back and if we see Rich Strike win again. We're in the very last minute of the show for this week. Thank you for joining Maria and I for the Horse Talk Show. Make sure you tune in next week. We have Carl Dewar on the show. Very excited to have him. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around till the same time next week.